And even when you look at the original build when I pulled out, still nice and clean. Although it's only done 1,000 miles this bike, but the last 1,000 mile I've rode it, it's been pretty windy on most days I've been out riding the bike, so it's picked up a bit of dust. But apart from that, it is running well. Okay, we've got the DNA in, we've got the cover on, we just tighten her up. I left this bit of a seam up along here. I suppose I could have trimmed it down and put it dead flat, I don't know which idea worked the best, but the main reason I did it that way, if I ever want to put this top cover back on, at least I only have to sit them both together, glue them, it's back to original, and it's good enough to go from there. So. Okay, this bike's back together now in the top section, so next up I'll pull the end caps off the exhaust, I'll pull out the baffle, take off the original packing, put my packing in place and see if I can at least silence it a little bit compared to what it was. Cause for my way of looking at it, I'd probably get into a bit of a problem around here if it bangs around that much. So to save any problems in the future, I'll see if I can just silence it a tad. Just in case you guys are wondering how I've been removing the baffle each time, well, usually I've been having trouble getting them out, and they've just been almost impossible to get out, and I've had to undo the exhaust and turn the exhaust upside down and give it a bang. But then I decided I'd use one of my long Allen key, a pair of pliers or multi grips, and pull her out that way. And that idea worked. It looks like it's going to save me a fair bit of time pulling this apart or pulling the exhaust off, and all the trouble putting it back on. So here's the, now we've got it out, there's the original packing, there, and I'll just grab what I'm going to put in place. So looking down at it, you'll notice my packing's a little bit more thicker, probably about, maybe could be close on triple. So that's what I'm using. So we'll do it. Mine doesn't do a complete lap, so I'll just have to settle for what it does, but still probably it'll silence a little bit better than what that one does. I recommend some sort of hand protection while handling this fiberglass, because no doubt the last couple of times I've been using it, you end up with a lot of itching from it getting into your skin and that, so I just head down inside and got a pair of gloves on to stop that problem in advance. So we'll just unwrap her. Remove the old wrap, which when you think of it, really isn't that much. We'll go for my heavier duty one. Apparently they just stuck it in like so. Actually mine almost does the lap, which is pretty good. Baffle repacked, ready to go back in. I'm certainly getting used to this. These pipes will be worn out from being pulled on and off. Now we'll try these baffle puller. And out it comes. That's certainly a lot easier than the other way. It's almost ready for a road test. Okay, we can hear it idle on the way, and I think it's got not a bad deep thump to it. Like it's definitely deeper than the other one. So I'll set the camera up on the tripod at the rear of the bike. And I'll just give it a couple of hits on the throttle. And we'll go from there. Unfortunately guys, I didn't plug my mic in on the trip, and therefore I didn't get any onboard footage, so I've got to do a voiceover now, so we'll get into it and fire away. So just a quick summary on the bike. It went out with the reverse cone mufflers fitted to it, because I'd already removed the slash cut. The standard packing that was in those mufflers, I'd already removed those, fitted it with the extra heavy duty packing to try to get a better tone out of it, see if it performed any better. I'd also fitted the DNA air filter, and it was also running the booster plug. Overall on the test I possibly ran about 35 to 45 kilometres, somewhere around about that. The bike ran well under all conditions. I think it had good overall power in all areas. It accelerated well from say 0 to 100 kilometres an hour, and the idle was nice. The engine seemed to hold temperature well. So overall the mod itself, performed in all areas fine. I actually think the idea of the extra padding, or the heavy duty packing I put into the exhaust, was a good idea. It sort of dampened it or deepened the tone. I could really notice the difference when I was on the bike there riding it along. It wasn't that sort of tinny side noise as you were riding along. It was more of a deep thump as you were going through some areas, especially down low in the gears, so I'd class it as. So if we look at it now, back to the DNA filter, for the money I really couldn't notice any big increase in power, although it was running all those mods sort of together. I could notice the air induction from the filter, when I hit the throttle and opened it up a bit, I could definitely hear the air induction sucking the air in, but that would be about it. If you say, well, anything else you could report on that side of it, well, there's no doubt oil-based filters like these, DNAs and K&Ns, they've got that added bonus, like if you're driving around in dusty conditions or that, where they pick up dust particles and stop them from getting sucked down into the motor. So that's an added advantage. But you know, like I've really got nothing bad against the paper element in the way too, depending on how you're going. I mean, they've been around a long time. So I think it's something like just personal preference on that one, but I can't get on there and say that I noticed a huge amount of problems, or power, I mean, not problems, but I didn't notice any big increase in power just by putting the DNA on or anything or that. But the whole package itself, the bike ran along smoothly, performed well, and it might have been a combination of everything together that made it all together run well. It's the might even been the power booster took a bit away from the DNA. I'm just not sure about what it is. I'd have to take the power booster off and run it and see what it was like then. I never ever got it to the stage, because I ran the power booster on this bike, I never ever got to the stage where I got out and where there's been videos out where you can put a DNA and then run it and let the computer or ECU tune it for the, you know, sit it there and let it idle for 10 minutes, and the computer will program it to run better like it. Never actually did that with this because I had the power booster on it, and not power booster, I mean booster plug, and it was just a case each time I'd just go out, turn the key, press the button, let it warm up for a minute, get on the bike and ride it. And that's what I did every time I got on the bike, and I think now I've rode it about, I don't know, pushing 300 kilometres in total. So, you know, I've ridden it a fair way with it, and I haven't had any problems, and I've been on and off the bike quite a few times and swapped exhaust on and off, and, you know, this combination, that combination, back onto it, like from stock, slash cut, over to reverse cone, back to stock. You know, I've done that many combinations playing around with it and never struck any problems. So in that line of, you know, any bad performance of the bike. I think the only time I did get a little bit of a burble or backfire from the bike was one day when I took off on the bike and I was running the reverse cone with that very thin packing in it, and that was in the first maybe 2 minutes of the ride. But apart from that, you know, like, wouldn't matter if I got out along the road, revved it out through the gears. I mean, sometimes I've been taking it over 6,000 in the gears now, like when I've been revving it. And as usual, I don't like the idea of revving out bikes at any stages, so it's not something I'm accustomed to, that I get out there and rev the shit out of a bike or anything like that. It's just something I don't do, whether it's a bike or car or anything. But you know, I have been out there a few times and give this a bit of a workout, and just to see how it performs. And even with all these mods on it, I've never had any problem going back over to the bike, pressing the starter button. It's always started first time with all this stuff on it, or what I've done to it. And I've been able to get onto it and just jump on and ride away, and no trouble whatsoever, like in complete confidence. So that's about all I can tell you about it. It's just a pity that I never plugged in the mic on test, and it was just one of those things when you're out there. I got back to that spot. We got on the bike, never pressed it into the little action camera, and it's one of those days it never happened. I had to do this voiceover instead. So, you know, we'll see how this turns out, but more importantly, I can class this test is finished now, and thanks for tuning in and taking a look.